can't believe we are already wrapping things up for this amazing summer meet at Keeneland. We don't want to let it go, but we have to. Steve Buttleman, thank you for kicking off our final Keeneland at Home show presented by Central Bank. I'm your host, Christina Blacker, and we're going to set you up for this Sunday of racing. 9 races coming your way from Keeneland, and as per usual, 1:05 post time today. Don't forget to use the hashtag Keeneland at Home. Share this with your friends, with your family, on all of your social media networking channels, and let them know that you are enjoying the racing. And we'd also love to hear your feedback as well. If you want to go ahead and drop us a comment, if you've enjoyed the show, please do let us know, because we'd love to be back here with you again. And don't forget about that digital program. Download that on the website, keeneland.com. Then go to the racing tab. You'll find some great information there just in general if you want to surf around, but you can also find that digital program. Our show will be similar to what we've been sharing with you the last couple of days. We will join our friends at Maker's Mark for a signature cocktail on this Sunday. Amanda is back with us once more. Ellis Starr gave you the winner of the Toyota Bluegrass yesterday. He is joining me to discuss a couple of the races on our program today, including the TVG Elkhorn and the Kentucky Utilities Transylvania. Those are coming up later on this afternoon. Our Betology segments will continue, and we want to share with you some very special charitable initiatives that Keeneland is involved in. Let's get to our call to post today. We've been inviting some local musicians to help us out over the last few days, but we want to go back to our main man, Steve Buttleman. He is going to play the state song of Kentucky. That will certainly get you in the spirit of Kentucky. And of course, when you think about Kentucky, you think about horses, you think about racing, Keeneland, and on to our next segment, you think about bourbon. Back to our friends now from Maker's Mark, and Amanda joins us today. She is going to teach us how to make the whiskey smash.
Hey Keeneland folks, my name's Amanda and you're joining me from Maker's Mark. Today we're going to be talking through a super simple cocktail. What we're going to be making is a whiskey smash. You've got a lovely mint citrus notes coming through, as well as the vanilla and caramel notes coming through on Maker's Classic. So we're going to build this in a glass, really simple to make. We're going to start with half a sliced lemon just dropped into the glass there. And then 6 to 8 mint leaves just picked fresh. To that, we're going to add half a part of sugar syrup, 2-to-1 sugar to water. And then we're going to grab a muddler or anything you have to hand at home, and we're going to just muddle that lightly just to get the juices from the citrus blending with the sugar and the mint. So you're just going to muddle that just for a couple of seconds. And then we're going to add 2 parts of Maker's Mark just to finish it off. So this drink calls for crushed ice, and not to worry, if you don't have crushed ice at home and you have cubed ice, grab yourself a tea towel, a mallet, a rolling pin, and you can just whack the hell out of it until you can turn it into crushed ice. So here's some I made earlier. And we're just going to fill that crushed ice right to the top of the glass. And then finally, take a spoon and just churn that ice, pulling all the mint and the citrus up through the drink. And then what we're going to do is just finish that with a crushed ice crown, just at the top there. And I promise you, this is perfect for a refreshing day. It's air conditioning in a glass. And we're just going to garnish it with a lemon slice and a mint sprig just to finish off there. So this is your whiskey smash with Maker's Mark. Cheers.
And again, more great recipes are available on the website, keeneland.com/makersmark. To our friends at Maker's Mark, thanks for your continued support. We have enjoyed each and every one of those signature cocktails this week. All right, it's time to jump in to the racing, and joining me once more is my partner, Ellis Starr. Ellis, first of all, thank you for the winner of the Toyota Bluegrass yesterday. And can you just give me some of your post-race comments about Art Collector, because he looks like a real serious horse on the way to the Kentucky Derby this year?
Well, Christina, it was nice. I thought it was a two-horse race going in. It was a two-horse race until mid-stretch, and he drew off. I think that it's a perfect example of why this is so different with the COVID-delayed Derby. Our collector would have never been ready for the Derby. He's maturing at the right time. It's kind of the equivalent of March, and a horse winning one of the preps in March or the Bluegrass Stakes before the Derby. He's probably going to stay very sound, and he looks like a horse that still has a couple of notches to improve.
He does indeed. Now, as far as the racing today, Ellis, you did have some rain and some weather there overnight. Do you think that's going to affect the track and how it's going to play out throughout the afternoon today?
Keeneland's an amazing drainage system they installed years ago when they took out the all-weather. I think it's going to be fast and probably good. We did have a lot of rain. It's going to be sunny, maybe some storms towards the very end of the day that might affect the Elkhorn.
All right, well, let's jump into that racing. So we're going to go through kind of the last three races on the program. So if you are playing a late pick 4, you'll want to hear all of this, jot down this information. Also, if you just want to go right ahead with the late pick 3, you can. Ellis, race number 7 is the Grade 3 Kentucky Utilities Transylvania, $100,000 on the line. We're going to go a mile and a 16th here for 3-year-olds on the turf course. I want to start all the way to the outside with Bama Breeze. Rusty Arnold trains this gelding, and while he was just short of the win last time out, it looked like he was gaining on the winner a little bit there.
That's correct, Christina. Bama Breeze ran second to Field Pass, who's also in the race, also is a contender we'll talk about in a second. Rusty Arnold ran 1-2 in yesterday's Shakertown Stakes, so his horses are ready to run. This is a 3-year-old on an improving pattern. He ran 9th in his comeback race, his first start of 2020, and then he ran second to Field Pass. He had a 102 echo-based speed figure, which is a measurement of time that folks can find in that digital program, and he should run even better today.
He should indeed. And as you mentioned, Field Pass got the better of him in the Audubon last out. And Field Pass, he's having a heck of a year. He's 3 for 4 so far in 2020. Can he add another stakes victory today?
I think it's possible. He's certainly strong. He's won 3 out of his last 4. He ran third off a 3-month layoff right before that, but that was very strong. And of course, there's nothing wrong getting the rail. The rail is the shortest point around the track. And Field Pass has another kind of edge or a good thing in his favor because he won the Audubon leading from start to finish, but he won the other 2 stakes races coming from off the pace. So he's got a versatile style that certainly will benefit him in this situation.
There's a bit of a price that I know you're intrigued by in the field as well, Ellis, the number 6, Irish Mias. Some big changes for this horse coming into the race today. He has been gelded since his last start. He's also running off the layoff. What are you expecting from him?
Well, this is an example of when you look back, and folks can do that. Nothing more fun than looking back in your program and finding a race you think a horse can repeat. Irish Mias won a race called the Laurel Futurity last summer. That was his first grass race like today and the first race going around 2 turns. He won that race. He's second and 4th since, so not bad. And he's been off since January in gelding. So to be nice, he just has nothing on his mind except running now, and he could run back to that race. Great Emotion, very good with these kinds of layoffs. Of course, he won the Kentucky Derby with Animal Kingdom a number of years ago. He brought back a horse named Secret Message to win the Mint Julep at $50 last month off a similar layoff.
What's your strategy in terms of wagering with those horses today in the Transylvania, Ellis?
Well, if we stay in a nice big field here, which it looks like it's going to be with 11 horses, I'm going to play a 4-horse exacta box. Been throwing out a few of those lately. It's $1 minimum. It's a $12 total bet. You win if any 2 of the 4 come in first and second in any order. We're going to use the 3 we just talked about, the 6 Irish Mias, the 1 Field Pass, the 11 Bama Breeze, and we're going to throw in one more long shot, number 8 Street Ready, who ran sneakily good one race before his last and could get into the picture at a nice price.
All right, so that is the strategy for the Kentucky Utilities Transylvania race number 7. We'll move ahead to race number 8 on the program. This is a high-level allowance race. You don't see these very often, which have never won 4 races. 6.5 furlongs is the distance. Ellis, this race has been changed quite a bit. We have a lot of scratches in here. The 5, the 8, the 10, and the 11 are all out. I'm disappointed not to see Whitmore run today. He is one of my favorite horses in training. But let's talk about CZ Rocket, because we're now opening up for a bit of a price. I'm sure he's going to take some money without all those others in there, but he's 2 for 2 for the barn, and he looks like he's improving right now.
Yeah, this is an example of a sharp trainer like Peter Miller. You can claim a horse and purchase him out of a race, and Miller did just that back in April. He's won 2 races since then. He claimed him for $40,000. He's won that much already so far, and he fits very well. He's also got a possible advantage. He's won over Keeneland in the past, and he's won at the distance. He's 2 for 2. So CZ Rocket looks very sharp in this race. And the way we'll play the race now, I was going to play some other exactas, but with Whitmore and my other pick, the tabulator, out, we're going to play in a 3-horse exacta box of CZ Rocket number 2 with number 1 Fact Finding, who won 2 of 3 on dirt before a turf race. So the turf race doesn't really matter. You're going to look at the representative races in your program. And Mojo Man, who's won 2 in a row as well. So a 1, 2, 4 exacta box. That's a $6 bet. You win if any 2 of the 3 come in first and second.
The last and final race of the day and of this summer meet is race number 9, and that's the Grade 2 TVG Elkhorn. We'll get back onto the turf course. We'll go the 1.5 mile distance in here. Let's start towards the outside. There's quite a few intriguing horses in this group, Ellis, but Arklow, the number 10, he was second most recently in his return race, and it looks like he might be eligible to improve a little bit second off the layoff.
Certainly, that's always the case with even veteran horses like the 6-year-old. This is what we call a marathon. 1.5 miles is called a marathon distance. They run slow most of the race, and they just come home fast. That's why you'll see so many close finishes, as what happened with the Louisville Stakes last month, where Arklow got beat ahead. He won the Grade 1 Turf Classic, a very important race at this distance last fall, and him and another horse we're going to talk about, Zulu Alpha, they take turns beating each other at these long distance races. Arklow should be there. He's very exciting. He's been first or second in 13 of 26, and when he doesn't win, he's still right there at the finish line.
He is as honest as they come. I know you've been looking at the Grand Motion horses today, and there's another one in this group. That's the 7, He's No Lemon, who comes off the long layoff. And to me, Ellis, or he's second off the layoff, I should say. But to me, he looks like one of those improving 4-year-olds. Now might be the time to catch him at a price.
Well, we talked about Motion with the last analysis, that Motion's won, of course, a lot of accolades and won a Kentucky Derby. He's great with taking his time with horses. This is a lightly raced 4-year-old with just 9 races and 3 wins. I love the pattern here. He won a race at 1 mile 3/8 last summer at Saratoga. Graham ran second in the late summer in a stakes race at this 1.5 miles. Got moved up to first when the winner got disqualified, and then he ran third. He was 14 lengths back in 11th and 12th in the early stages of the same race. Arklow ran second in the Louisville. I think he can actually leapfrog over Arklow in terms of form, and he's by a sire called Lemon Drop Kid, whose horses can run all day. This 1.5 miles is going to be no problem for He's No Lemon.
Let's stay on the Grand Motion train here. The number 2, Nakamura, his stablemate, is a deep closer. Is he one that's eligible to win, or would you consider him more as a horse to round out those exactas and trifectas?
Well, there's 2 points to that, Christina. You're right. He's definitely an exacta and trifecta horse. He could post the upset. He's 8 to 1, the same odds as his stablemate is. And usually in the situation when a good trainer enters 2 horses, I don't question which one is better or well intended. I'll usually bet on both if they both have a shot. Nakamura proved himself at the level. The fall equivalent of the TVG Elkhorn is the Sycamore Stakes, and he ran second in the Sycamore last fall, and he was only 4 to 1 that day. Then he ran 5th in a race and took time off. Again, we talked earlier, Motion very good bringing horses back from layoffs. So Nakamura is a horse to run very well. He's actually been first or second in 7 of 13 races on the grass. Don't leave him off your tickets.
And last but certainly not least is the 8 to 5 choice, Zulu Alpha. Zulu Alpha coming in for trainer Mike Maker. Tyler Gaffleone, he is the one to beat in here, Ellis.
Well, he won the Sycamore in 2018, the same race we just talked about. Nakamura running second in last year. He shows up every time. He loves these long races. He's got a tremendous record of 11 for 33. He's made more than $2 million in his career. He won the Kentucky Turf Cup last summer at the distance down at Franklin, Kentucky, and Kentucky Downs, and just missed by a neck in the Pan American Stakes. Definitely the horse to beat. Not a great bet at 8-5. It's a win bet, but you got to use him in your exactas and trifecta tickets.
All right, Ellis, thank you so much for sharing your insight, not only today, but each and every day of this show here, Keeneland at Home, presented by Central Bank. I really love all the time we get to spend together with Equibase, with Stats Race Lens, but I've also appreciated having you as my partner on here. Thanks again.
Well, it's been a pleasure, and it's also been a pleasure. Been very lucky with the horses cooperating. 7 winners we've given out in these 5 days so far. Hope to get a couple more today.
Indeed. Let's get a couple more there from Ellis Starr. 7 for 17, some big prices. The winner of the Signature Toyota Bluegrass yesterday as well. And we're going to try for a few more to round out this closing day. Time for our Betology segment now. You've had a chance to listen to Ellis's analysis, and we've talked about numbers, talked a lot about odds. And remember, you are betting pari-mutually when you're betting on the races. You're betting against other horse players. So today, Rachel is here to tell you how to beat the odds.
Here's a math problem for you. If you hit a $5 win bet on a horse with 12-to-1 odds, how much would it pay? The answer? $65. In today's lesson, we're going to teach you how to calculate and beat the odds. If you're new to Betology, check out our previous videos to learn all about the basics of betting, how to read a program, and more. So, first of all, let's define odds. In horse racing, odds are fractional. They are shown as kind of a ratio, such as 5-to-1, which would be called short odds. Horses with low number odds are the favorites to win the race. Now let's say a horse has 30-to-1 odds. That would be known as long odds, and that horse would be called a long shot. These two numbers represent the return you can expect if the horse you bet on to win is successful. Essentially, if you won a bet with 5-to-1 odds, you will earn roughly $5 for every $1 you wagered. That's your return. Your total payout, however, is your return plus the amount you wagered. So, a $5 bet would return $25, plus the $5 you wagered, for a total payout of $30. A $10 bet would return $50 for a payout of $60, and so on. Another way to think about odds is to think about it as the probability that horse will win. For instance, let's take a horse with 8-to-1 odds. If that race was to run 8 times, statistically, that horse should win once. Odds are estimated every morning by an odds maker. Those numbers, called the morning line, are displayed in the race day program, but that's just an educated guess. Actual odds are determined by the public as more and more bets are placed, so odds will change constantly up until the race. You can keep up with real-time odds on the tote boards at the track or online through Keeneland Select. Also displayed on the tote boards is the payouts for any $2 win, place, and show bets for each horse. Exotic bets are much harder to calculate, but here's a trick. Open or download the Keeneland Race Day app and click on the Will Pays. You can see what those wagers are estimated to pay out. Now, the question is, how do you beat the odds? It all comes down to risk versus reward. A long shot bet is a high risk bet because you have a small chance to win, but the reward is also high because it comes with a huge payout. Many handicappers will pair the race favorite with a horse that has longer odds in exotic bets like exactas and trifectas. That way, you can play to the odds while still creating an opportunity for a big payout if the bet hits. Some bettors like to bet to break even, placing safer bets that will allow them to earn more money than they bet over the course of a day. Others like to have fun with it. Bet the long shot or a pick six. With this strategy, you may not win often, but when you do, you win big. Try this bet on for size. Place a 10-cent superfecta box. It'll only cost you $2.40, but depending on the odds, you could make thousands on your return. Give it a try on Keeneland Select, a mobile wagering platform that's free to join and easy to use. Sign up at KeenelandSelect.com. That's all for now. We'll see you next time on Lessons in Betology.
And as always, you can find more on the website at keeneland.com/betology. You can also find more of those segments on YouTube. Time now to talk about a charitable initiative that is very near and dear to our hearts here at Keeneland. Keeneland Kids Club has teamed up with the UK healthcare system to brighten the spirits of folks in need and battling during these times, and also just to lift them up as much as we can and to tell them that we are thankful through the UK healthcare system for all of their hard work. Take a look.
In the fall of 2019, UK Healthcare and Keeneland joined together, and Kentucky Children's Hospital has really benefited from that. Our kids have gotten to experience a lot of amazing things because of this partnership. Buckles has visited the hospital on numerous occasions. They've gotten to decorate cookies.
UK Healthcare and Keeneland's been a long partnership where that we look at education, we look at philanthropy, we look at the ways that we can improve the overall health of Kentuckians.
A few days ago, Buckles dropped off some amazing fun horse kits for our kids to participate in so that they can be a part of the Keeneland experience during the Keeneland at Home. And so they get a chance to, with their families, make these fun things and maybe even, once they get home, do a couple little races around the house.
They can actually pretend they're racing or pretend to be a part of Keeneland. And that is so important in these times, to have something as an outlet.
You know, one of the things that Keeneland did during the pandemic was to try to brighten the days and the families of those who are working on the front lines in healthcare, and so they surprised UK Healthcare employees' kids with Easter baskets. So Buckles visited everybody and dropped off a huge basket full of goodies just to brighten days and kind of change what's going on with the pandemic. So, you know, our Children's Hospital has been super thankful for this partnership.
It's more than just about raising money, but it's about bringing these two traditions together. Through these times, obviously, things have changed, and Keeneland has just done a magnificent job of providing ways to help support those children. These are through some of the, the ability to make different art projects, to really participate. Although you can't be here at Keeneland, you can participate virtually. You can participate through making these horses that are really, really neat. And it's a way, really, that we partner together to serve the families.
Seeing those smiling faces, and especially all the arts and crafts that they've been able to make, the kids there, those Easter baskets, it was really special to follow along on social media. So our thanks again to the UK healthcare system. And of course, we at Keeneland will continue to do everything we can to help the local community and beyond. Let's get to our call from Kurt Becker for today. We are going to finish it off with a good one. All of those funny home videos have been very entertaining. We thank you for your submissions throughout the week. Today, Kurt is giving his call to a very special video from a friend, Craig Ryder. Here it is.
And they're off in the Perrysburg B handicap. The Canadian and Lid the Kid and Max Doodle all broke alertly. White Swan away toward the center of the pack. Mom's the bomb and I'm the boss at the back. Around the tree to mark the end of the first furlong. And here is Max Doodle trying to decide if he wants to go inside, outside, or looks like down the middle. Maybe looks like all three. Time now for some push-ups because, well, why not? The stewards have a note for White Swan. Flexing your elbows a quarter of an inch does not qualify as a push-up. So off we go now. It's the downhill run over to the far side of the course. That is a beautiful portion of the course all the way toward the water's edge. It's also apparently a very mesmerizing portion of the course because everyone seems to have forgotten that this is still a race. Here's Max Doodle. He's going to try to get something going. Lid the Kid is going to try to go with him. It's the uphill climb into the final furlong. And look at Lid the Kid. What a burst of speed to win it. And then you've got Max. Max, the finish line is to your left. It's to your right. Yeah, now you've got your back to the finish line. And Max, you just lost second to the Canadian. Oh, well, Max Doodle will be third. I'm the Boss will complete the superfecta, narrowly edging out White Swan for fourth. And here comes Mom's the Bomb to complete the order of finish.
Kurt, thank you so much. This has been phenomenal to hear your expert analysis of all of your home videos. We hope to be able to continue this because it's certainly a bright spot of our show. And we have also enjoyed the thrilling and accurate race calls each and every day. Kurt, good luck for this final day of the Keeneland Summer Meet. I wanted to talk to you now about Nourish Lexington. Keeneland is a founding partner in this initiative. And what Nourish Lexington does is it provides meals to those in need during COVID-19. Also, we've been able to utilize the skills and talents of those in the hospitality industry that have been displaced by layoffs due to the pandemic. We are very proud to say that since April the 1st, we have served over 80,000 meals and counting. We've also extended this meals program to the backstretch workers that are dedicated to the horses each and every day, and that is through the Bluegrass Farms charities. Additionally, Keeneland and Kentucky Utilities are teaming up for a match campaign in support of God's Pantry Food Bank. We're going to provide a $7,500 matching funds from July to benefit those who are in need at this time. If you'd like to learn more about how you can help the work of the Bluegrass Farms charities, head to Keeneland.com/Keeneland at home. Closing day is nearly upon us here, 1:05 post time for the final day of racing. Don't forget, 9 races coming your way, and we want to thank our very generous race sponsors once more, Kentucky Utilities and TVG. We cannot wait for Transylvania and the Elkhorn later on this afternoon. Just want to let you know also, we're looking ahead. We're looking ahead to what's coming your way with regard to the fall meet and the September sale. If you want to keep updated, all you need to do is go to Keeneland.com. You'll get all the information that you need there, and keep an eye on our social media channels as well. That is going to wrap things up for us. And once more, we want to thank our friends at Central Bank. They made this show possible for you. We have really enjoyed putting together Keeneland at Home each and every day as your lead-in to that phenomenal coverage, which you can watch online and on TV, of all of the racing from Keeneland. And the other sponsors that have contributed each and every day and throughout the week, of course, our friends at Toyota, at TVG, Keeneland Select, Coolmore, and the like. We all appreciate everything that you have done to make this race meet possible. For all of the folks that have made this show possible I'll give a personal thanks to Dara Allen and the entire team at Keeneland, to Jason Falls and Team Cornett, to my partner Ellis Starr for giving you those winners each and every day. I'm Christina Blacker. I hope you have enjoyed Keeneland at Home, presented by Central Bank.